Alright. Should be back to it again. So, few things I did over the weekend. I unlocked the Void Fiend. So I was thinking we could have a bit of fun with him, and then Railgun as well, since I had a few runs with her. And I unlocked the Cryo Charge and the Marksman ability. Just needs the 1 million damage shots. I think we'll just start with a Railgunner run. Also, I managed to get the primary and beat the Fall Sun with Railgunner to get the skin. So just need to get Mithrix. Should be fun. At least the run I did with her earlier over the weekend was very fun. It marks the right click or I guess the snipe is very satisfying to use, along with the just Gears of War reloads, active reloading. It's very dopamine to hit. No, can hit. Be very fun. It's definitely a lot different than the usual commander runs, since you definitely feel more powerful at the beginning, just from the abilities alone, instead of being in need to get a few good starting items like with the commander. See, go. Get you. Nice starting points, taking my chests, and we do. And a gambling shrine. Early tempting, early tempting. Oh shit, opal. Definitely want some crowbars as fast as possible and as many as possible. With the Railgunner. Just because of that, the M2 of the secondary snipe ability. And Chris also just mod them, so that's very nice. Let's see. Anyway. Hope everyone had a very nice weekend. I definitely did. I had a movie night. I went to a movie night yesterday, where we watch Howl's Moving Castle and had some dinner together, me and a group of friends. It's very nice to have. One of them I hadn't watched Howl's Moving Castle before. It was very funny to see their reaction, especially since we watched the English dub with Mr. Bateman himself voicing Howl. That was very fun. Also, Howl's Moving Castle is just a very good movie. I mean, all of the Ghibli films are, but I think Howl's is one of the best. That, and then also Spirited Away is also one of the very good ones, along with Ponyo. I mean, those are also one of the, or are the three classics, along with Totoro. No luck with this rhyme today. No luck at all. Satisfying as always. But very nice to have a movie night. We also made We made food together. We had grilled pork tenderloin, along with some oven potatoes and some, I think I would call it gravy, along with it. That was just very nice and fun to have together, especially since some of them I haven't seen since June, when we had the last exams for the semester, which are starting again tomorrow. So it's going to be a question of how much I can keep, or how well I can keep the schedule up when the semester starts tomorrow. Hopefully I can keep up 3 streams a week. No problem. But we'll just have to, I'll definitely try to do it. But I don't know what the future holds. Just have to see. Yeah. The eye shot, boom. That eye shot is so nice to use. God damn. Because it doesn't pack as much of a punch as the normal one. But the freeze ability definitely makes up for it with the damage. Let's see how quick we can do the first boss. Dragons are so annoying with the railgunner because their weak spots is just one of the worst ones. Since it's on their tentacles. Which I mean, it sort of makes sense, but it's also still very annoying to have to deal with. It is also very nice just dealing with the small fry. All the small little guys, small little beetles and the Murians. And the wisps, of course. So the looping. Come on, do your supernova. That works too. Good. Double Bandolier, not what I would have wanted, but yes, that is what we... Definitely going to want some AoE as fast as possible. Definitely a Will-O-Wisp or a gas. Gas? Huh. More movement speeds. Fine as well. You right in the eye. Yeah, definitely could use some ability with Ray Gunner. Can also do this one now. And boom. And boom. I think it's 300 gold we need for the shrine. For it to be fully activated. Boom. Boom. That is a nice lineup we have there, so... Always so satisfying when you hit that right. Let's not get a bit too buggy. This might be a very early first run. You. Oh, a little bacon. We should get the golden dudes. Oh, that's a golden dude now. Guess not. And that should be it. Just with the golden dude left. He's a Halcyon something, I don't quite remember the name of the golden golem. No, it's Aurelion Knight, the big one. But not this guy. See, it does have the gilded prefix, I guess, elite type. And it gets him with the nest. Frost shots. There we go. Not going to the green portal just yet. Get you. Guess the crit glasses. Nice and easy first one. Yeah, definitely been trying to improve on the both how I do my runs, try to do more grabbing when I have the opportunity. And also basically been trying to keep talking more, because as I rewatch the VODs, I definitely find that there are a lot of places where there's just silence because I just stop talking. Either because I don't think about it or I just can't find stuff to say, so definitely trying to get more into the stream of thoughts to just keep talking about different things. And just keep that going. Ooh, I want this. There's definitely more healing that we needed. Let's get these creeps off me. Actually hit stuff. There we go. Yeah, so I definitely try to keep more in mind of keep talking, keep the being kind of entertaining, hopefully. Instead of just sitting here and they basically stop talking like I'm not streaming. Yeah, most people probably normally do, where don't talk that much during when they game. Hopefully, something I'll learn to be better at over time. If not, just keeping it in mind so that just it becomes more natural to do. But yeah. Okay. Double mystery. Fine. Let's see. Sometimes I just need to save for spaces. But yeah. Also continuing with the movie talk. Recently, while we would, or I think, yeah, last week, while I was helping with our experiment, our group experiment for the semester that I'm starting right now, we usually, me and a friend usually listen to radio while we sit down there and do the whole experimentation or waiting for our recordings which we are making. They did like a top 3 movie things, or I guess not movie things, just top 3 songs currently. And the number 1 was Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, which I also watch, I guess not recently, but I did watch it. It makes sense why Golden is number 1. That movie was so good. Even though it is a Netflix exclusive, which means that not a whole lot of people have seen it. Like if it was in theaters, which I have definitely seen a lot of people talking about, that it should have been a theater release instead of just a streaming exclusive. I can definitely see being right. I mean, basically a very nice superhero type movie. It had some of the elements while not being like a Marvel superhero movie. That, you know, like the Avengers type movie. It definitely was much less of the typical Marvel humor. It sort of takes away from the stakes and all that, like, doesn't take it so seriously and stuff. It makes it less entertaining overall, at least I think that's, and I also think many other people think the same. You know, do that some tense moments and then someone cracks a joke and then suddenly that tension is basically gone entirely. I mean, K-pop Demon Hunters did have a few moments like that, but it felt more, it wasn't like in the big battle, like the big final, but it didn't have anyone making jokes or something. The same way that, you know, like a Marvel movie sometimes have. Then also like the Deadpool movies where that kind of stuff sort of makes sense because it's Deadpool. So those types of jokes feel more natural because they're sort of expected. Because Deadpool isn't a serious hero, he jokes around a lot, doesn't take much seriously. Okay, ooh, okay game, okay. Okay game, I see you. But yeah, in like Deadpool you would expect to have the sudden joke at a tense moment. So it doesn't feel as forced as it does in like an Avengers movie. also I've been seeing a lot of praise for the new Superman movie. I haven't watched it myself, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of people saying it feels much more comic book. Comic booky. Which means it makes. Definitely seen that from the outfit where it's much more colorful. There's a lot more colors in the movie as a whole. Compared to something like Man of Steel, where mostly going from the suit that is a lot more mutant. A lot more dark blue than the light blue that you can see in the newer one on the trailers and such. This one just has helped so much. But yeah. Also, 3 days so Scorn releases. I'm so excited. Talked with a friend about it who has recently been playing through Hollow Knight and talked about his feelings about it, what he thought about his. He did reach an ending, but not one of the endings. I think he just got the normal vessel ending. He didn't do like the siblings ending or the crew ending, as you can call it. And then he didn't really start any of the DLCs, so of course I didn't spoil him on that quest. That takes most of the fun away from that game. Also, as I said last week, I will I will be starting a Hollow Knight playthrough starting Wednesday. I will just do a complete run, since I did try to play the game before, didn't complete it, but I basically know most things that happen in it, so I don't really think you can say I don't really mind getting spoiled, because there isn't that much to spoil. It's mostly a do I remember this happening or not that I will be thinking about. It will definitely be fun to play through it again with the knowledge that I guess you can say I've gained after basically everyone played it back in 2016, 24, 2016, 2017. Definitely be fun to do that. So I really need to kill these vagrants. I'm just yapping without concentrating. So also, talking while playing, definitely not one of the strong suits. My strong suits I've yet to master. Hopefully I'll get a bit better at doing that with time. He missed that, okay. Straight up missed that. Okay. Definitely excited for the release of Silksong, especially since it's only going to be $20. Which I mean, it's kind of surprising, but also not really, considering Hello Games and what they've been doing, like just with standard Hollow Knight, all the free updates that came out after. But also with the anticipation that has been around the game just in general, would definitely equate to being a more expensive game. I've definitely also seen a lot of people who wouldn't mind, or at least saying they wouldn't mind, if the game was more expensive, since it's Silksong. So definitely not complaining that is cheap. I guess you could say it's cheap for what the game is anticipated to be. Definitely exciting. Also wondering if they're going to do like a book like they did on the first game. I don't remember the name of. Thing is not Menderbug, but like the law book that they did. And I forgot to do the Altar of Gold. Oh well, I guess we'll unlock the False Sun some other time. Yeah. Also, like with the lore of Hollow Knight, I could definitely see more people asking for a like lore type book about about Silksong. It's just a question of if they will make it. I mean, I guess if the demand is there, they might be persuaded to make something. I'm definitely excited to see how the movement system feels, because from the trailers it looks very smooth and I want to say intuitive. Like it's something that feels like it makes sense when you move around, jump between enemies, on top of enemies, and wall jump and stuff like that. It doesn't feel like it will have, not like it will feel like fluids when you do it in the game. Definitely what it feels like, and most of it you probably wouldn't even think about when you do it, like it comes natural to you. Because Hollow Knight definitely had like that movement felt very good to do, like it felt deliberate. It didn't really feel like when you messed up it wasn't you, or I guess it wasn't the controls messing up, it was you, the player, using the controls in a way that make that mistake. I don't know what else, like games coming out, I would say I am excited for. There is Battlefield 6 and of course Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of those. I can definitely see the fun in them, but it's not like I go and say, holy shit, Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7, holy, it's happening. I wouldn't say that was my reaction when they revealed those games, but I can definitely see why people would be excited to play them. Especially Battlefield 6, I definitely seen during the beta they had, people were feeling very good about the game and how it felt more like an old school Battlefield game compared to one of the newer ones. I think it was 2042. I think is the newest one. I'm not quite sure about that. But we just go with it. Definitely heard that it didn't feel like your usual Battlefield type game, and more like, you could say just another shooter, if you could say that. But again, I'm not the most experienced when it comes to those types of games. Could I get a crowbar from this chest? That would be very nice. Please? I guess not. This is a bad shot from me, that. Definitely still needing that AoE. Especially to take care of these pests. And the wisps as well. Guess if we can get any nice AoE equipment. It's something. It's something when we are finished with this one. We're finished with the teleporter. Nice lineup. This teleporter going. A Dooney Strider, not what I was expecting. Definitely not what I was looking forward to. Not what I was looking forward to at all. Can I snipe you from up there? I can. I sort of can. Boom. Frozen showed up. Did a little more damage than I was anticipating, but definitely take it. Always feels good to land the snipe. And also jumping around with the mines also feels nice. Feels like the old school, I guess you couldn't say old school, but like the TF2 rocket jump. It's very nice to land. Doom Spider decided to hide. This man can do a little bit of cleanup in the meantime. Take care of these healers. Where did that Stroom Strider go? Is he hiding over here? He is. I think this is definitely going to be a loot run. Just fun. I don't think about doing that much or getting the mastery this run from what I'm seeing. So I don't think we'll have much luck with it. Considering how much time I've already wasted, but you never know. But definitely feeling the lack of a crowbar right now. Definitely feeling that. This wheels goes in the ground when it does that. That's a fun skill, that's fun interaction. A little bit irritating, but I guess that's just how the model works, I guess. But that's definitely getting scrapped. If I manage to find a scrapper, that is. Distance get you. Mini magma lava worms. That is also not fun to get right now. So what do we have? We can take with us. Running a space would have been very nice to have earlier, but better late than never, I guess. Can you give me a crowbar? Royal capacitor would have been nice. Guess I'll just take armor piercing for some extra boss damage. But yeah, I'm also looking for a crowbar printer to see if we can manage to get the challenge done for the 1 million damage needed. For the alternative mine ability, even though I don't think I will have to use that at any point, but it's just to get it. This Siren's Call. With the vultures, that's too hard to effectively hit most of the time. Not quite enough, but this should be good now. That's always nice to see. Yeah, definitely. Think we don't have the power right now to take on Mithrix, so definitely going to getting a loop done at least. With hopefully a lot more crowbars in it than what we have seen. Because I think just one or two crowbars will definitely help our damage very much. Fuel cell. Just need better equipment. But that's... It might be nice with a credit card just for more items. Large chest. So see you, a little million. I'm just very bad at hitting you. XP not really what I'm looking for, but I guess it buffs the M1 a bit. There's the AoE we were looking for. Been very nice to get earlier, but I guess better late than never. Windy James, thanks for the offer, but don't start your first matches like that. Don't start it like that. A hi is... a hello or hi is very much enough. But I appreciate the offer, just don't do it in streamer chats, either do a DM or something like that first. But that's just a very bad look to go into a stream and advertise yourself like that. See if we can get that last chest up here. Careful of you. Ooh, a ninja stars would definitely be nice to get. Ninja stars would definitely be nice extra damage. Watch that. Enough? Yeah. Good. Even more AoE that we desperately need. You love to see it. find some more. All we have to do now is just the single target damage that we are looking for. Don't really need the healing. All of that did get you. Anything else I can get quick? Normal chest rubber. Another goat tooth. On any other run, these goat hooves would be very nice to have, but you see the damaged chests. Definitely going to get you. What's my way if I could pick it up? Do the loop-de-loop? There you go. It's also the big chest we could take as well. If I could get the money for it. You. With some money at least. Let's get you. There's some healing at least. Both pins would definitely have been nice with this amount of those units beaming me. Need you. Guess I could try the void item, just see what they would have for me. Just to see if there would be anything that could help. Could also start the teleporter. Or maybe I shouldn't have. Oh well. We can do this with the Solus units as well. After us. Hopefully we don't aggro the alloy unit as well. Otherwise I think this might be a dead run. If it does. Even with the amount of healing elites, it might already be a dead run, I'm afraid. Might have taken a bit too long on the earlier stages. But we'll see if I can get a big wisp explosion going. We might be able to pull it off then. Or maybe not. Do I live that? Just barely. Okay, this might be a dead run. Unfortunately. Yeah, we also have the worship unit, so I think this might be very much over. So let's see how long we can stretch it out for. Let's see how far we can take this. Not very far. Oh well. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Yes, we can do a Void Fiend run. Just to see how that is. Did also do a bit of a training run with him. Just to get a feel for him, man. Should be fun to do. Definitely plays a lot more different than the other survivor, since he has the infinite range and he has the alternative form that he takes. Yeah. And the only one that comes close is probably Multi. So how it feels to play him, since Multi also has two different main weapons that he switches between. Or at least two different, I guess you could say, play styles in that regard. Where you know the normal form, like the purple form, a lot more range focus, a lot more distance and reserve, whereas the red form, a lot more aggressive, a lot more close range minded. And especially a lot more damaging in that regard. Stage 1 Royal Capacitor. Definitely not saying no to that. Definitely not. Get a save out of you. Yeah, I don't really know what like items work with Void Fiend, like, you know, the same way that Crowbar works with Railgunner in that regard, that is sort of a make or break item for Railgunner depending on how much damage you want to do. I would definitely think that like proc items could work well with his alternate M1, depending on how well it procs. This is stuff I don't really know. Could always look it up, but too lazy to do that now. Yeah. Rose bubbler. Not quite what I was hoping for. But yeah. It's also a little weird that you don't want healing on him, just because of the fact that it makes the void bar go down when he's healed, and of course when he takes damage, it goes up. It sort of works against how other survivors work. They really want that heal, especially on monsoons, just because you don't really have that much natural health regeneration. I guess that's also why he has the utility spell that just heals him, even though he has the... it takes away his bar of the... Can I time this? I can. The red beam of death is definitely something that feels very satisfying to pull off against a bunch of enemies. I'm quite curious if it works with like Warhorn, if it works with attack speed, like, or if it already is set to the max amount of ticks that it can have. I guess you can say it like that. Daggers, always nice to have a dagger. Always nice. But yeah, I only did the single run with him before. So I'm still not sure how, like, if there are any hidden mechanics that work with him in terms of attack speed, certain proc items. But that's the joy of discovering or playing something new, isn't it? Finding all the little small things that make a character unique. Should we gonna just play more Void Fiend, find out what items work, what items doesn't. Yes, I guess the med pack. Just for the healing. I guess we can take the move speeds. Take the move speed. Get you blown down. Definitely the first time I played Void Fiend, it definitely felt like with Railgun, he feels very powerful with the right build earlier on compared to, I'd say, other survivors. Of course not with the loader, since the loader is just absurdly powerful even on the first stage without any items. But it's also fun to have a character like that that just feels fun to play because they are so strong. Definitely makes it so it's more varied, the amount of survivors, how you can play them, and how it feels to play them. So it doesn't just have all the survivors basically play the same way, want the same items. That just makes it boring. But of course that also allows for something like competition where you get into the speedrun things. Like, I think the speedrun of Risk of Rain is still that like 9-minute video. I've had it pop up a few times, which is crazy that someone beats Risk of Rain that fast. Like, I'm very much fascinated by the act of speed running, but I don't think I could do it myself. At least I don't think. I haven't really tried it, but I don't think it would be something I would enjoy doing. But I definitely like seeing the process of, oh, if we do this, we save X amount of time, we may save a frame or something like. That's something I find very interesting, where people like sit and test for hours and hours to make a run go just a tiny bit quicker. But that tiny amount might be the question between placing in the hundreds and then placing in the top 10. It just makes it even more interesting. That such a small difference makes all the difference. Yeah, speedrun definitely a fun concept that I probably won't get into, I think. But you never know what the future holds. Well, definitely stuff like roguelikes definitely have a very large capacity for speedrunning. I think a lot of the procedurally generated games have like a lot of roguelikes where a lot of variables usually have that capacity, even with stuff like seeded runs. They just perfect the same steps as best as you can. Which basically makes it down to stuff like muscle memory. How quick can you hold forward this specific amount of time, and how quickly can you position yourself in the spot that you precisely need to make the whole strategy work. Also something that makes it interesting. It's one that it's a free, that is free. I mean, there are definitely like games that are made to be bed run or made with speedrunning in mind. And I also think that Risk of Rain kind of fits into that because of stuff like the Creon Accumulator. Like the basically BFG Doom Gun copy. Like, it rewards you for basically going fast. Get that. Also fun to see when people do speedrun, to see just how quickly, or I guess how easy you could say, they break the game, or what strategies they use that a lot of players probably don't use in the normal playthrough, just to get those extra seconds. Lose those extra seconds on their time. You out, get out. Double razor wire. Definitely should take care of all these wisps. I also think in terms of speedrunning, Risk of Rain are definitely characters that better at it than us. Like Loader is easily one of the best just because how much mobility she has with the grappling hook. And the punch ability is basically sense of flying. Compared to someone like the Captain, which has no movement abilities at all. Because there are people that speedrun with every character, see how fast they can make it with any character. Templar. Should definitely see about getting a void item. This shrimp is amazing. Actually. Like, very amazing. Oh. Markerpender. Guess I'm definitely have a AoE thought of basically down already. Bit of a waste there, but fine. I mean, also continuing on the whole speedrunning thing, the people that speedrun like multiple games on top of each other, like, it's very popular. At least what I'm about. I have seen different people do to just speedrun the whole Soulspawn, all the Soulspawn games, in as fast as possible, just switching from one game to the next. Which I wouldn't guess how much time they actually use on, you know, doing attempts, making strategies, finding out what to do, what when. I could never imagine how much time they actually put into the whole run before they actually like complete it. Then of course you also will always have people who just, when they beat your time, you have to do it almost all over again, or you have to analyze how they did it. And then you have to apply it to yourself to see, okay, if they do that, what if I do this? And see, you know, if that gives you more time or they give you less time. But again, this also usually comes down to like milliseconds when it happens. There was also that one, I can never remember what game it was, where like the sun hit the screen at a certain angle and changed a 1 to a 0 inside the screen. It's basically change something in the game that allows a person to do a strategy that was never seen before and was basically impossible to replicate because of the amount of variables that was in the attempt, like the sun hitting this screen at this specific point. How many shrimps does this get us? Seems like a lot. Definitely a lot. Yeah, it's definitely wild when like something like that happens, like the chances of it happening are already like 0 to none. It's almost impossible for something like that to happen in the first place. But then to actually have it happen for you is absolutely insane. I mean, when you're talking about like chance and statistics, the amount of people that do runs on a specific game to speedrun it and the amount of attempts they do, it does sometimes make sense that something very unusual happens in at least one of those thousands of runs that people do across different people across any amount of time. But still, the fact that like the sun had an impact on the speedrun itself, basically insane when you think about it. It also makes me wonder if something like that has happened before, like has happened to other games that people speedrun. Like where something as crazy as that has happened. Mission tanks, very nice with the gas. Also talking about other game, of course, I mentioned that I would be doing some Hollow Knight streams later this week. I also think that after the Hollow Knight streams are over, after basically we hopefully completed all days in the game, I think it's going to mix between Risk of Rain and maybe Enter the Gungeon to sort of get two games going at the same time to make some more variety in the games that I play. Because I'm very much, even though I love Risk of Rain, I love playing it, I love the lore, the gameplay, all that, I don't think I'm someone who can sit down and play like hundreds and hundreds of hours in the same game day after day. Definitely not that kind of person. So I'll definitely be trying to mix up the types of games, or not the types, but definitely games that I play over time. Also thinking of doing some Valheim, playing some of that. It's a very, I like the survival game. It's a very nice survival game. Also Vikings, me being Scandinavian, makes sense. I think it's the art style for one is something that I very much like. I really like the art style of Valheim, the sort of low poly PlayStation 1, early PlayStation 2 look that it has. And also the gameplay, also fun, and how much freedom you have, especially with building, at least what they've made with the building. Ooh, save star. No, I should save it for the red chest, but that's so far anyways, so. Yeah. Also, I saw the Valheim was coming up with a new update. that I don't really remember what is, but it's come out with a lot of updates since I played it last. Which I think was the time when they added the meadows. Like the one with giant skeleton boss, I think was around the time I last played it. I know they've added... I definitely didn't play when the swarm... Yes, the swarm was there, of course. I think the boss that comes after the skeleton guy, I definitely didn't play when that was available, like the Foglands, I think it's called. The Fog... with the beetles and stuff. Definitely didn't play when that was a thing. It should be fun. I always like survival games. Like I play a lot of Ark in my time. I think it's one of the games I have the most hours in. It also comes from the fact that Ark itself, the dinosaurs are mostly what drew me to the game. Like that first trailer when that dropped. Me and my friends at the time was definitely hooked. And also like the Steam description they made only seemed to make it better. Then it released and it was mostly like it was a mess, but it was fun. It was a fun mess. Like even though a lot of things didn't work, a lot of the dinos weren't added immediately, it was still very fun to play with friends. Especially not, of course, not on official servers. We didn't play much on those. Mostly did small private servers back when that was a thing on ASE. Then of course they released ASA, Actual Ascended, which a lot of people basically bought as Snail Games wildcard abandoning Survival Evolved for, which they kind of did. They kind of did just leave Ark Survival Evolved to just do its own thing. I don't know if they were hoping for it to kind of die off on its own. But I mean, they made the Ark Aquatica DLC, which I'm so sad that's what it became, because I love the ocean aesthetic, the sea creatures, all that stuff, exploring the ocean. Something I absolutely love the idea of, and then they just make the AI trailer already was bad, and then when DLC released, and basically none of the things worked and how everything looked, and I think a lot of the map, like the surface you basically go into the mesh, like a lot of it isn't solid in many places. I think I saw someone, I think so, Grandy, I think he's called, yeah, Grandy, doing a 100 days Aquatica, because I think really no one else made that kind of video or sort of went in depth with the whole DLC. Basically seeing all the mess that happened with it was so sad to see. Of course, there's no hate to the studio that made the DLC, which I know it was like they were outsourced. It wasn't Snail Games themselves that made the DLC, but an outsourced studio that didn't make those kind of games. I think they made mobile games before that. So of course no hate to those guys, since I also believe they didn't know exactly how the engine worked, like the Unity engine. So they have to make most things from scrap or take a lot of the assets that already existed in the other DLCs, which is why there's a lot of Arc Extinction stuff in Aquatica. But it's so sad. And it probably also signaled the end that there isn't really coming that much more to Ark Survival Evolved. They're probably mostly gonna focus on Ascended because of that. That's definitely sad, since I mean Ark was, I wouldn't say that it was a good game, it was a fun game. But some people would definitely say it was good, but it definitely also has a lot of its flaws. Even with the amount of updates that's come out later. Also, speaking of updates, I saw No Man's Sky had a new update as well, which insert meme, no Sean, I have money, please. Still crazy how they keep making more updates for No Man's Sky. But I'm not complaining. Like, I love to see the passion they put into it, of keeping the game alive, or I wouldn't say alive, but doing what they want with the game by adding all this stuff that I'm not quite caught on, if it's stuff that people have asked for, or if it's just stuff that they wanted to add, like things they think that people would like to have in the game. Like, I definitely remember the Internet Historian's video on the ingoodening of No Man's Sky. That's definitely one that I think it showed people that, okay, they didn't just abandon it, they're actually doing something about the hate that they received from, you know, the release of No Man's Sky back when, but also all of the things that they promised. Which, I mean, also as Internet Historian shows in video, Sean Murray probably was very nervous, so he probably mostly talked about what he thought would be good things to say instead of what were actually in the game that they, you know, actually had made or was possible. Which, as we can see now, also just meant they needed more time to actually bring the stuff that they wanted into the game instead of just rushing it out. I mean, also note the next DLC for Risk of Rain also seems like would be the Alloy Collective. Like having a robot, or I guess an Alloy focused DLC also sounds very fun to have. But of course, new survivors. The only question is if it'll have as bad of a release as Seekers of the Void had. I definitely remember a lot of the items needing to be buffed in some kind of way, along with, yeah, I believe, needing to be buffed a lot in certain aspects. So they have definitely ironed it out. Mostly a lot of the items from Seekers of the Void definitely feel powerful. Like Sailstar feels very powerful just as an item in general to have. Basically being able to choose that you get an extra item from any chest. Like, just as a concept is powerful. And then allowing it to stack as well with the same chest just increases that amount of power. Movement speeds. Another one down there. I saw Void Fatal. Also see the potential. Yeah, Void potential. Should have taken the band. I was very much too fast there. Ooh, needle tick. This should be very nice. Just need a few bunch of more of them and should be good. Yeah, I saw some of the leaks. The Orphan Core is extremely funny that we have like basically a petable robot. Or we're gonna get it through the DLC. It seems incredibly funny to me. Are we good enough for Mithrix? Maybe. Getting the radio scanner just for the lore. Always love lore. I think we do a loop just to be sure. Just to see how far we can take it. Of course, this makes no room. Who else would it be? Definitely looking forward to what kind of new survivors they have. I think it's 2, like it's been on the other DLCs, like a free one and an unlockable one at minimum. And I also believe one of them is a returning character. It should be fun, even though I don't really know like a lot of the Risk of Rain 1 characters. I've definitely seen a lot of the hype that are around a returning character. Like I remember the hype for just having Shift back. So it'll be interesting if we get a new ending, because the other DLCs added the Void ending. The Seekers of the Storm added the Fallen Sun ending. It should be interesting if they add a 4th ending, just to like keep that same, I guess, pattern of what is in each DLC, what we could expect from the DLCs. Wonder if it works on. Okay, so if the sales level works on the Void Cradle, I would guess it does, if we can find one. Not really much I want. Give me the pennies though. Also be interesting if we get a new game mode. Which I think is less likely since only the Void DLC added like the simulacrum, the wave-based mode to the game. But then also, what other game modes sort of do we need in the game besides, you know, a wave-based mode? What other kind of game mode would make sense to add to the game? Where it would be possible to actually do it, of course. Can't really do seeded runs. We already have that in the prismatic trials. You can't really do, I guess, a battle royale type game mode because that doesn't work at all. So I guess it would be fine without another game mode, because what game mode does Risk of Rain to actually like need, like what game mode does someone feel the game needs that it doesn't have? I guess the only thing will probably be artifacts, to just make like a semi-new game mode. They usually do that, like the type of modifiers they add. I also don't really know what kind of artifacts the Alloy Collective would bring that we don't already have. What would be, I guess, not groundbreaking, but different enough that you don't feel, oh, it's just this artifact, but they do this instead of this. Like if they did like a new elite artifact where it's only once, every stage only has one type of elites, which basically feels like two, I guess, artifacts in one, like the artifact of honor and the artifact of kin kind of just meshed together. I definitely feel like artifacts should feel different enough from each other that they should be their own unique thing that they bring when you take them on a run. Of course, they also have to work together, like you take artifact of honor, artifact of kin, and the one I just made up in my head about every stage has one type of elite. Imagine just getting a like all fire elite stage if they made that kind of artifact and just taking those other three. It would be horrifying to just get all fire elite enemies all the time on a single stage, and then also the never quite remember what the anti-healing ones, but also that, and also just the mending elites, just getting a whole stage of mending elite enemies, which I think would be impossible without a very specific set of items, a very specific run to actually make work. But it will be interesting to see what come out of that DLC when it arrives. Because I'm definitely excited for what they've showed so far and what we can expect from it. Not quite enough to one-shot you. That's why I have to beam. Just imagine getting a stage with only the celestial elites, like this one that makes every other enemy invisible. So I feel you, Templar. I feel you shooting me in the back. But yeah. So I don't really know how many artifacts the other DLCs added. I know we got the Artifact of Rebirth and the Delusion, I think, from Because of the Voids. Definitely Rebirth is one of them, and that Delusion is also a new one, not in the base game. I'm not quite sure. Also, I haven't unlocked them all yet, so it makes it harder to, of course, find out which ones are new, which ones aren't. Yeah. I'd rather keep my capacitor. So that I can smite my enemies with great lightning from above. Men out of here. You will never be Alexander. I should really play Elden Ring sometime. I still haven't played that game. Ooh. Growth Nectar. That's very nice to get right now. Yeah. And also at some point I would like to get like some kind of capture card and hook up the PlayStation to get just play some Soulspawns. Especially Bloodborne. I have yet to play all the way through Bloodborne. So I definitely have something to look forward to, but like with Hollow Knight, I already played some of it and I basically practically know what is going to happen in the game. That doesn't mean it feels any different when playing it. Like knowing what happens and actually experiencing what happens is two very specific things. Doing some lawn work, don't mind me. Spreading the pesticides. Spreading those insecticides to get my lawn clean. Get off my lawn. Get these pests out. And of course get paid from doing it with a Luna coin. Love to see it. Yeah, definitely looping was definitely the right choice. I'm very much starting to feel that. Do out. Basically just needs to find a scrapper for the prayer beads and if possible a prayer bead printer on the same level. Because I did see a short explaining that that's basically the way to like infinite damage. It's always fun to get in these kinds of games that just ask you to break them. Even though Risk of Rain 2 hard game, definitely not an easy game to master, I would say. Mostly because the difference between like Drizzle and Monsoon is huge. But also it surprisingly doesn't take that much to get an very OP run going once you're there. Like getting to the point where you're just getting the looters. I always forget what they're called. Getting the guys with the bags on and the guns. Because you're getting to the point where those are the only enemies that spawn. Always feels amazing to get. But it's definitely thanks to a lot of the items just working together exponentially. With how they scale with each other, like a lot of the items just do double damage when you get 2 of them. A lot of them do triple damage when you get just a few of them, like that. Also with stuff that, I guess you could say, scales infinitely, like if you get enough bleed and attack speed, you basically have theoretical infinite damage, because each time you apply a new bleed stack, the duration for all of them resets. Of course, the journey is sometimes getting there depending on the luck that you have if you don't get cracked daggers, for example. You get some, once you useless items. No, not many items are useless. Mostly Bison Steak, but that's only if you're not playing the Fallen Sun, where every bit of health is always better, no matter the form it is. But the other survivors, you sort of don't need the health because, of course, you don't want to get hit. If you can help it. That's why I always will say that movement speed is the best stats to get in the game early. Because you can just run away from enemies if things get bad, if things start shooting at you, like the wisps, you can just outrun their shots. Give me that armor piercing. Another armor piercing. Ooh, gasoline. I think armor piercing. Just to get more prepared for Mithrix. Sticky bomb printer. I mean, there are definitely items worse than others. Like, you can't make every item basically be at the same level. That's impossible to both balance and make sense in a way, because then you can really have rarities. Then it doesn't make sense to have some items be rarer than others, for example. We get Shadow Spleen. Speaking of good items, Shadow Spleen, my beloved, welcome back. I've missed you dearly. Wonder, does that work with Needle in any way? I wonder. Vultures out of here. There we go. Anything else I can snatch before I leave? Equipment room. There's a multi shot I could drop by and get. Oh, it's because, of course. Never say no to a band. Another good item. Also not really looking to get into the void anytime soon, at least. think that's still one of the aspects of the game I haven't really touched yet. Needle tick. Plasma shrimp. Almost as good. Or basically as good. There you are, Mr. Scavenger. I was just talking about you. You and your big sack. What do we have for me? Hopefully more attractive daggers. Nope. A red? I think it's the first red item I've gotten from a scavenger. Definitely in a while. That's attractive. We were looking for absolutely amazing. Another one? Oh. Free glass is also amazing since we have Shadow Spleen now. Could I be so cheeky as to ask for a glasses printer? Participatory urchins, don't come in here and do that. Take that place somewhere else. Please do not come in here and just do that. I know your butt, but still. I know your butt, but you are still incredibly annoying when you do that. At least I'm still at the stage where I'm not bombarded with those kinds of bots, so that's one of the nice things with not being a very popular streamer. You don't have to deal with those types of things. At least not to the same extent. I'll just go down. I'm wasting time again. I am just straight yapping. Which I mean is kind of a good thing. It was one of the things I wanted to get better at so that there wasn't any silence for like 10 minutes because I just wasn't thinking when I was playing. I just focusing too much on playing and not that much on streaming. Another dagger. It's 5 days. I actually thought we had less than 5. Oh. This is fine. I didn't realize how powerful Void Fiend actually was. I guess we also have a very strong build, so that helps of course, but still. Still. Of course, there are stronger builds. There are always stronger builds, but this definitely feels up there. But houseplant, it was best plant. Not quite the red item I would have wanted, but I guess a red item is a red item sometimes. There you go. Pests out of here. I do wonder if the flying pest and the flying pest are the same species. Because that definitely looks like they're closely related in some way, shape or form. At least to an extent. I guess that depends. I haven't really looked close at the models often, but I guess some things to look at sometimes. Like that, how even if like the devs don't intend on making things seem related in some kinds, like something you would see in Monster Hunters, mostly Worlds and Wilds, where biology plays a semi-big role in how things were created, how they thought out the worlds and the monsters and stuff, plus which monsters they chose to add. Sometimes fun things to look at. Like with the void enemies, like things. We have the three main types, like the Reaver, the Obliterator, and the Jailer, and then of course you have the Voidling. Sometimes fun to look at how those things work together, like what order they are, of course how they're related, because both the Jailer and the Obliterator are obvious crustaceans, while the Obliterator, not the Obliterator, the Voidling is basically a big crab. Which again ties into the whole, the void is deep sea. That is a golden shrine. It's very annoying to get right now. Because we are definitely going to make breaks with this run. I'll probably do another Void Fiend run or just take it to the False Sun. Try and unlock him with the Golden Shrine. If we have the time for it. Because I only need the False Sun and Chef as the last two characters to unlock, and then the Void. We also need a few abilities to unlock, like what's it called? The Seeker's abilities I need. Do also need the Railgunner's mines, like the 1 million damage shots. I need to do that. It requires a little RNG, since I need a lot of crowbars for it, and a lot of basically damage multipliers, so also stuff like Focus Crystal, a lot of delicate watches. Don't really know if Chronic Expansion is something you need for that. I don't quite have the numbers on how much it increases damage, but it's another damage multiplier, so they multiply off of each other, which is what's important. Now then, let us go and whoop Matrix's ass. A little bit sad I didn't get another rock capacitor. Didn't get a fuel cell. That would definitely have made this whole thing a lot more fun, but can't win them all. As well, it's a double Reaver combo. So I need to get away from nuclear grandparents. Thank you. this one easy trick, you too can one-shot any boss in the game. Oh, that's a fun interaction that the Reavers just instant kill anything in their death blast. That is so funny. It's so goddamn funny. Also think it's very fitting that only the void enemies have any kind of actual instant kill, like infinite damage type attacks. Thematically it fits very much with the whole the void is infinite, all consuming. And also the void is a prison that the risk of rain law goes with. But also a fun thematic. Just a little sad they didn't do more like void corruption type stages. Like they do the void invasions in later stages where they're just a bunch of void enemies, but do more of like like the whole stage is corrupted in some way or more invaded than would be normal. To really get that the void is coming for you or trying to jail you. Ooh, that's a perfected one. How much does one take do? Okay, respectable amount of damage. Very respectable amount of damage. Unfortunately don't have a live skip, so we'll have to do each pillar. Well, there's a lot of perfected enemies this time. I guess it is a late run, so that does make sense. There's a lot of them. Luckily we can just ignore them. Mostly. So I see something applying leading. I wonder what that is, since we should be only applying collapse to things. Ah, Shadow Spleen. Of course, Shadow Spleen. Okay, so it doesn't work with Needle Tick. Interesting. Very interesting. I feel it would probably make it a bit OP if it did. With how Shadow Spleen just makes bleeding targets explode and then spread the bleeding. But a little disappointing. So, try not to get caught in the slow. Okay. On to the next one. Get beamed. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I got greedy. I got too cocky. Well, I think we just go again. keep going with Void Fiends. Definitely get back there again. Use that infinite range. Snipe those wisps. Let them out there. And Void Fiends definitely growing on me as a favorite character alongside Captain. Because I think it's a lot of people's opinion. Of course, mostly because both of them are powerful characters, but also the thematics around them, like the Captain just calling down rock pods and orbital strikes and a satellite for that matter. Like the thematics of that is amazing, and then also with the Void Fiends being a strange creature from the voids that twitches all the time. It is a nice touch, it also floats around. Like the Artificer. I also like that his skins sort of use the whole deep sea a bit. I think the Prime Meridian skin does it a little bit better. Been a while since I last saw those skins. I definitely like how the Eggpet's skin makes him look like an actual reptile, aside from a smooth, lean type reptile, which a bit more fit like with a salamander compared to an insect. Not insects is what I'm talking about. Compared to like a reptile. Because like, even the smoothest reptile does have scales of some kind. They're just either smaller or they are positioned in a way that makes them look more smooth to the touch, like for example snakes. Or with I think it's called a sand swimmer. There's very smooth skin that, you know, makes it swim through the sands. There we go. Both healing and damage. Okay. I don't mind the... Of course, Eggpet still... The way Eggpet is normally fits in the thematics of, or I guess the art style of Viscofin, but it's nice that they do he does have a skin that makes him look more reptile. So I mean, it's the head of Void Fiend skin where it's made of seashells, for example, or other kind of deep sea, I guess you could say, architecture or items you would normally find in the deep sea, like making full of barnacles, or even the crab pen, which he kind of has, but make it more crab-like, like make him fit with the Void Jailers or the Void Reavers in that shellfish type aesthetic they have. Would be very nice. And also just talking again, where is that teleporters? Over there. Yeah. Definitely wondering if we're getting more skins also with the Alloy Collective DLC. Seeing if maybe get robotic skins. Even though most of the survivors already have kind of a robotic theme in some way, shape or form, like the helmets definitely make a lot of characters look like they are partly cyborgs or have some kind of implants or prosthetics. It'll be fun to see if they take it like further and just say everyone is a robot now. I think that would be kind of a fun thing to do and also fit with the basic aesthetic of DLC. Also wondering if the final boss will be some kind of mother unit, because I know from like Risk of Rain lore videos that the Solus unit answer to a mother unit, and that mother unit, like I guess you can say the admin role was taken by the alloy worship units in Siren's Call. That would be fun if like the thematics, I haven't really caught up, so I don't know if that's already been revealed. If like the thematics are the mother unit is coming, the alloy units are invading of some kind, and we have to repel it, or in some fun twist restore its role in some way. It will be definitely fun to think about where they're taking the DLC. Also with how safe they are going to play it. Like if we're... I mean, already the Orphans core is already a very fun concept of just having a pet. A robot pet that just rolls around, follows you, and gets stronger the longer you have it. Like that's already fun. That's already kind of new, because we don't have that many pet type items. Like we have the Queen's Gland for the Hive Guards, I think they're called. Then we have the Heaviest Mask for the ghost enemies. This is not a good situation to be in. It's really fun to have more like follower type items to play around with. Please stop that. I am trying to talk here. Ooh, zip spaces. Very nice void item indeed. Get more of them. Definitely want to get a needle tick again. It's just a fun item to get. Also a little sad that the whole void items were a one-time thing with Survivors of the Void. Because getting the ability to fundamentally change an item is very fun. Also, how they can change it, like what other items they could do it with. They could make it with cautious lock so that it heals only in combat, for example, and just switching the abilities like a lot of the other items did. But I guess that's also something that you have to keep it balanced in some way or form. can maybe also make crowbar like a execution item. It does more damage the less health an enemy has. Which in some way I know does defeat the purpose of guillotine, but make it happen with all enemies in some way. Because maybe not have it at 75% increase in damage. I think it's the normal numbers of the crowbar that full of enemies take that much more damage, but maybe keep it more gradual in some way, if possible, of course. Ooh, I have to find a scrapper somewhere. God almighty, I love you. Get rid of you. We also have regen scrap to keep in mind. Get rid of the stun grenades. Not really that much else I would like to get rid of. Get more in the chest over here. But it was a normal chest, my bad. Let's get this going. And of course it is a Dooney. Game just loves giving me. That is. On. Go, now we're just melting. I said now we're just melting. There we go. Did we get for our troubles? A sale star. Never say no to a sale star. Never. Probably the best item in the whole game. Possibly. Abandon. Never hurt anyone. Definitely never hurt me. And off we go. It's on Daisy Prince. Don't put that on my face. Alright. Another lens makeup. Well done, game. I see what you are putting down. I definitely see what you're putting down. Just have to find something to scrap. That I actually want to scrap. Oh, I could just get one naturally. Yeah. That works just fine for me. You. Delete you. Also need to find an equipment somewhere. Some way. Definitely saw some money problems. Do have the scrapper. Now it's just a question of getting the items for it. There's one. Got the encrusted key. Do not get frozen with a fire enemy nearby. Give me that. Get the shrimp back. Get another quick glasses. It makes it 6. Okay. 7 with the scrubber. Definitely already gaining a lot of power that we had before. Few more items so I can make good use of that scrubber. I should probably get rid of the fungus. Also see you. Attack chest. I see you down there. Come here, come here. Gimme, gimme. Another breaching frame. Nice juggle. And another double do in the open. Down, 2 down. And a paint. Hey. I think you might even be able to do mythics without looping. It's definitely shaping up like that is the plan. Should be fun. Hopefully entails less perfected lunar chimeras this time. Hopefully it shouldn't have that many lunar chimeras elites. Hopefully. Because I just can't. The flying perfected lunar chimeras are basically the bane of my existence. I fucking hate those things. They are so irritating to deal with. Especially since the perfected version just slows you down almost entirely. More shrimp damage. And like the tanks, I'm fine with the tanks. Fungus. And also the ones that leave the blue flame, I'm also fine with those. But the flyers can get fuck right off. I definitely think the game, okay, I don't want to say the game would be better without them because I'm not a game developer, but definitely have them in another form wouldn't hurt somewhat. Definitely wouldn't hurt. Get thrown, idiot. Get thrown, idiot. Get juggled, idiot. Get juggled, idiot. Get thrown off. You can also get thrown. It juggles. It's so fun to juggle enemies with those. With breaching pin. It's such a fun item. It do take a bit more work. You take a lot more work, it seems. Get juggled, idiot. Get juggled, idiots. Thank you for the save. Go. What do you have for me? Ooh. Want you, and you. We don't want to go to the Prime Meridian. I'd like to beat Mifrix first, at least. Go printer. There you are. Three more. What could I get rid of? Probably... I'll get rid of the pennies. Maybe cautious luck. Bison steak, definitely. I forgot about bison slug. Bison steak. Definitely forgot about bison steak. So you then probably roll up pennies. That should be good for crit damage. Go. Now we just need some tri-tip or needle tick. We should have practically a finished run, I think, a finished build. Don't quite want to jinx it yet. Just have to see. It killed it. A double Gamba Shrine. Don't threaten me with a good time. Void potentials, hopefully. Get out of that. Get you. The other one's in here. Looks like it's the minima slipped, and one other thing I don't know what is yet. I will definitely say I love the fact that void enemies hit normal enemies. That is a very cool touch to have. Are you open for the money? I still love the fact that it's a thing that they do. No potentials. One potential. With the Mimash. Kind of get to be safe. I cracked this one open. Attack speed never hurt anyone. For the Void Cradle. And lost here. Don't really want that. Prayer beads, nuts, probably prayer beads, just so I can hopefully scrap it later. You also have to remember the legendary chest. Another. Oh, it isn't. Okay. I was about to say 2 lens maker printers in a row would be crazy. If only it was a tri-tip printer. Sad. Ice and steak. Great staking it. Just straight staking it. It's over here this time. Or is it beneath? No, I think it's over here. Is it? No, it should be here at the end. It is. Don't have enough, of course. That would be too easy. Now we have. Don't know how to feel about that one, since it does kind of defeat what to say his whole ability by taking damage. It makes him go stay in the void form, the blocked up form. Where healing takes him out of it, so. kind of defeat the purpose, but also not in a weird way. So you're dead, it's close. And I massacre all those guys. Now I think the biggest boost of dopamine you can get in Whisker of Rain is hitting that being the Void Fiend, just beam attack into a group of enemies and then railgunners all fire, or this utility of just beaming again a large group of enemies. Definitely feels good to just when it hits. Just seeing the numbers fly everywhere. Left on deze. Eccentric vase. So it's something. It is definitely an item, or an equipment I should say. I think we should probably get out of here. Oh yeah, we did do the challenge of the mountain. With Doom Spiders, of course. Who else would it be? 4 Doom Spiders. Look out for those mini vagrants. Now just get out. Did get the Myodern. But I'm going off the map. Did get the Myodern. It's just a little scary when applied to Mithrix. Just a little scary. What else did we get? Luminous shot. Don't know how much that's going to matter on Void Fiend, but it's extra damage. It's extra damage when we need it. Whereas my Myodern does basically stop me from going like empowered. If so, that's funny. That's really funny how that works. It does. It heals me. If there's too many enemies, it heals me too much to get into the empowered form. That's so funny. That is so funny. This basically means I should get a scrapper on stage 5, no matter what, almost. Because my damage is very much dependent on me going into that form. Little Chesterino. Little Reno. Juggling. Still love breaching fins so much. And how it just locks down certain enemies. So that is a lava worm. Stun grenade printer. Not really what I'm looking for, but thanks for the offer. Few outs. Destroyed. Destroy the Giles. Ooh, a delicate watch printer. Now that is something I can get behind game. That is something I like to see. I could get a boss item printer as well. Pretty please. Then I would be even more heavier game. Very much heavier. If you would give that to me. Beggar's magazine. Lele, more AoE damage. Love to see it, love to see it. Hopo killer? No. But I'll definitely take another paint. Printer. Opal printer. I don't really need that much defense. Yes, Warhorn. Also prayer beads to scrap that. So hopefully you can get a scrapper. Very much hope, but because it would basically increase our damage so much if we can get it. Both the delicate watch and possibly getting rid of Mired Urn. Even though it is a good item, right? It is very much a powerful item to have. But on Void Fiend, it works against him a lot. I can just make so too many enemies, I just can't go into high power mode. You know where a bunch of Void Fiend's damage comes from. In that high power mode also I should look out for that. For you I don't really care about. Get juggled, idiot, get juggled. Juggle the child before he does immeasurable amount of damage to me. Let's shoot. Right. Time to hopefully find a scrapper somewhere. I would be very happy about. please. Just gambling fine. Is the... not really that. Actually, maybe. Just for the war horn. Really? Really? Thank you. Let us see what we can find. I don't know if I can spawn one below down at the reliquary place. But I guess I could take a look down there if it is open. Otherwise, I think we are out of luck on that scrapper. It juggles. I'm a little bit sad we didn't get a green printer somewhere for that regenerative scrap. I don't think we are so lucky as to have a scrapper, unfortunately. Just gonna take a look down here just because. And no. Ooh, did not see you. Not see you there. Also a bunch of crap. Open you, I didn't open you. So just one of you, almost. Two of you then. I guess it works. Alright, on to Mythbricks we go. God, they do so much damage. They should not do that much damage. They really shouldn't do that much damage. Holy. Little bit sad I didn't manage to get a Abu feather, but I think we should be good. Like 2 markers and 4 paws go to. With a war horn on a fuel cells equipment. I think we should very much be good. In terms of movement, at least. Also, could you please get out of my sight? Okay, 3 pillars over there. A few glass pillars. Not that many flyers. Is very nice, super perfect. That's you're just a Luna. So we should probably be very good. And hopefully not die to what the chimeras this time. Should very much not die to them this time. I played this smart. This is the first challenge. And there comes the flyer. To wait just a moment. Thank you. And of course there's another one. They really are the bane of any run, those flyers. Get juggled, idiot. Get juggled, idiots. Back to the waiting game. But yeah, I definitely think those flying on the chimeras, there could be done something about them, I just don't know what. It could also very much just be a skill issue from my side. I wouldn't count it out. Definitely wouldn't count out that I'm just bad at handling them. Can you please put the fire out? I'm trying to stay in here. Is that a flyer I hear? Hopefully not. I would hope not. Please? Thank God. I don't want to jinx it. Do not want to jinx it. I'm not gonna say it. Just going to move onto the other pillar. Thank you. Guess we're just going to the pillar of glass. The glass pillar, I think, is the soul pillar, since it usually goes faster. I mean, I maybe could risk the blood pillar. Maybe. I really wanted to. Get out of that fire. Come on, get done, get done. Thank you. Yeah. Definitely feeling good about the items we have. I don't feel like Mythic should be a particular issue. I think. Hopefully I don't jinx it by saying that. I mean, the only thing we really need is just have been a pillar. That's basically the only thing I think, the only item I think we would need to really solidify this build. Can't win them all. So get that fire out of here. Bring that fire elsewhere. Should be it. And let's go to the big man himself. The lonely brother on top of his lonely tower in his lonely kingdom. They just took all my momentum. Are you? Fair enough. Let's get up there. I think staying in this form should be fine. I'm a little scared that the form change will mess up some timings, but I guess we'll just have to see. Get floated, idiot. Get breaching fins. Thank god this shit gives iframes. The falling does not. Oh, give iframes. Get floated, idiot. Get floated, idiot. Get the lightning struck. I might be able to just almost stay in this form indefinitely as long as we keep hitting him. Also means we get the healing as well, so. I suppose he does that. But that is why we have infinite range, practically. Now it just gets more fun. Definitely taking you out first. Then you. Then you. And then you. Then the rest of these should be a piece of cake. Where are you? There you are. Now is where it gets difficult. This is definitely the phase where I struggle most. Especially if it does the pizza cutter. There it is. Get away, get away. There's much space between him and me. Get juggled. Thank you, save the spaces. Fuck it. It worked. I'm greedy. Yeah, it does have this shield, unfortunately. Got the fin. Ooh, I wonder how the fin would work on Mifrix, actually. That's Mifrix. king defeated in his own castle. Now we just leave. Hello, Mr. Void Reaver. I don't have time to play it today. I have a ship I need to go to. I find it a little funny that the Void Fiend actually goes to the ship. Doesn't go through a Void Portal or something. I don't really know the Void Fiend's lore, so... I don't know, he's probably an escaped prisoner of the Void, I would guess, giving the theme of the Void, so that would make sense. For him to be, but that to be his sort of role, I guess you could say. It's still funny that he just goes with the ship like every other survivor. I want to get out of that. Oh yeah, given that the Void fights other enemies, I wonder if, like, in the Alloyed Collective, if there's going to be another faction, like, if there's going to be like an Alloyed faction. That would be kind of fun. Like 3 factions that just fight each other. And the gameplay. It would be kind of fun, something extra little fun flavor to add in. But we did it. We have redeemed ourselves. Will a Void Fiend win? And what a run it was. With Mithrix defeated. And the moon vanished into the voids till the end of time. And so it comes for all of us. Okay, that was more ominous than I thought it would be. I guess the Void Fiend can now eat the rest of the universe. The Risk of Rain universe, I guess. But that was a fun time. That was some fun runs. And we got his skin. See, like, as I mentioned before, I would have liked if it was more deep sea themed, like more shellfish, like more crustacean-y, but it works. Anyway, I think that was it for me tonight. Got those 3 hours. I'll see you next time on Wednesday, where I will be beginning the Hollow Knight streams, Wednesday and Thursday. Then maybe there'll be one on Saturday, depending on how I feel. I do have to go to a university party on Friday. So depending on how I feel, probably do 4 streams then. Anyway, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. And to those that followed. I will see you guys on Wednesday.